Hey there, this is Clay, and in this video we're going to talk about how to make your ex think about you like crazy without using mind games. Often on some of these other videos that maybe you've seen from other people, there's advice to, play mind games, play hard to get, make it seem like you don't care, get more power, all that sort of stuff, right? And sure, you can play that game if you want to, just know that the game of power isn't necessarily going to bring you a great emotional connection. The game of scarcity isn't going to bring you a great emotional connection, all that sort of stuff, right? Could it potentially make it happen? Maybe, but my philosophy is, hey, if you just want to get a great emotional connection, let's go for the great emotional connection. Why go through these circuitous routes to make it happen by playing mind games, by going for power struggles, by making relationships about all these sorts of things that they're not necessarily about. I mean, sure, you can make your relationship about power struggles, but hey, that sounds like a really terrible relationship to me, one I'd just rather not be in. If you want to have a great emotional connection, go for the great emotional connection. Don't go for power, don't go for manipulation, don't go for mind games, because you might win those, but you may not end up with a great emotional connection at the end. Know what game you're playing, know how you're choosing to measure it, and consciously choose the one that is most likely to get you the outcome that you want. If you want lots of power, play the power game. If you want to be a very manipulative person, play the manipulation game. If you want a great emotional connection, welcome to the game of emotional connection. All that other stuff, power, manipulation, all that stuff, I'm not your guy. If you want a great emotional connection, yeah, I'm your guy, okay? So let's go ahead and get into this. All the stuff we talked about, mind games, playing hard to get, deception, it's really just a performance and it's a deception. It will be revealed eventually if you're just, playing hard to get. If you're not actually hard to get, but you're just kind of sitting at home, like over-analyzing things. Like if and when the two of you actually get together, your partner's going to feel deceived in some way. They're going to feel like there was a bait and switch. They're going to be much more likely to, call it quits and move on or something like that because there's something fundamentally out of alignment. What we want to do to get your ex to actually think about you like crazy without mind games is to start by loving your life first and foremost and live in alignment with your own values. You should get this. If you're watching this channel, you should get this. You're not just someone who's just kind of coasting through life, just trying to get by, right? You want to make a big impact in the world. You have some values. You have a big mission that you want to accomplish in this world. Live that, okay? Live it. Go into it. It's going to make you much more attractive because you're going to be aligned with what's important to you. You're not just going to be sitting there over analyzing text messages and wondering like, oh, what does it mean when he's adding girls on Instagram or something? Is he into them? Is he like not into me anymore? Like you're not going to care because you're going to be so focused on the important things in life, okay? And that's gonna make you also much more passionate when you're actually communicating with someone. It's gonna also make you potentially a little bit less available, and that's okay because it's coming from an authentic place. It's because, hey, I'm busy kicking ass in life and I don't have time to sit around over analyzing your Instagram feed. Sorry about it. That's okay. The next thing you want to do is to own your emotional experience. This is absolutely key. You want to own your own emotional experience. So many of us look at things from the outside. We say, okay, this happened, therefore I feel this way. That happened, therefore I feel this way. You didn't text me back, therefore I'm panicking. You made this cryptic comment, therefore I assumed the worst and started panicking and, I don't know, sent some sort of text message that I regret or something like that. This happened, therefore I'm in damage control mode. If we can start to shift it around the other way to the point where our emotional experience is internalized, where it's like, okay, I know that I'm living in alignment with my values. I know that I can handle myself. I know that I alone am responsible for how I feel and the actions that I take. This is going to turn things around and it's going to cause the interactions that you have with your ex or really with anyone to be fundamentally different in a huge sort of way. Rather than them feeling this strange sense that they are somehow responsible for your emotions, they're going to get this clear message that, hey, you alone are in control of your own emotions. You alone are going to be unaffected largely by the things that happen. I mean, of course, if you do something to someone, they're going to have an effect. But, it's not like your entire well-being swings on whether they say yes or no, or whether they agree to something or disagree with something or whatever, right? And this is really attractive. And it's really going to be something rare that a lot of people don't experience in their romantic relationships because there's just so many people that are just out of touch with this, and they're just looking for external things to somehow tell them how to feel, tell them what to think, tell them what to overreact about, right? So if we can pull our attention inwards, focus internally, and stay grounded and take responsibility for our own emotions, it's going to make us extremely rare, to the point where someone is actually going to want to step out of their way to get closer to us because they feel this tremendous amount of spaciousness from us, rather than feeling this pressure that, hey, you know, you need to do this or do that, otherwise I'm not going to be okay, otherwise I'm going to freak out. That is a little bit suffocating. It's very pressurizing to a situation, and it causes people to want to pull away. Whereas if, hey, I can take care of me, that is very spacious. It allows them to show up however they're going to show up. It allows them to be more honest with you, more straightforward with you, more direct with you, more transparent with you, because they're not going to be worried about saying something the wrong way and potentially risk, you know, some sort of massive blowback. The next thing we also want to do is we want to not force it to happen, but to keep a balanced, socially balanced, organic approach to all of this. So that's to say, okay, great, you know, you want your ex to miss you, you want to get closer to them, you want to create some sort of bond with them or something like that. We don't want to force things to happen. You know, there's something to be said for people who will just like robotically text their ex every, I don't know, couple of days or every week or something like that. Just, hey, just want to check in. Hey, how's this? Hey, did you see that, right? And what happens is, every time they send a text message and there's no response, so if you can imagine, this is their ex's level of emotional investment and this is their level of emotional investment. They send a message, the emotional investment goes up, their ex doesn't respond, the investment stays the same. Next week, they send another message, the investment goes up, the ex doesn't send a message, the investment stays the same. Next week, they send another message, and another, and another, and another. And their investment just keeps going up and up and up. Their ex's investment stays low. And so before you know it, there's this massive imbalance in the social dynamic. And that just creates an awkward situation between two people, because one person is very minimally invested, the other person is way over invested. It starts to seem a little bit strange, like, hey, why are you so invested? Are you like trying to force something to happen here? Do you have some sort of ulterior motive? Do you have some sort of hidden agenda? Are you trying to force something that's not there? Is this about more than just connecting with me? Are you just trying to like rope me into a relationship? And that's when people pull back hard and actually disinvest even more. So what we want to do is we want to keep it more or less equal. It's okay if you poke your head a little bit above them once in a while to see if they reach up and follow you, but we don't want to just keep going higher and higher and higher unless they're kind of following you in a certain degree as well too. So what we want to do is we want to be okay with potentially, you know, putting something out there, being vulnerable, and them not meeting us. And if that happens, you know, you might want to disengage at that point to drop the level of investment back down again so that you can try again when it makes sense. I'm not saying you do this on a clockwork schedule, because that is a little bit weird, it's arbitrary, and it's not allowing you to actually be present. But when it makes sense, you might just float something out there to see if they respond. Oh, hey, I was just downtown and I saw that they're doing this festival next weekend. You want to come with me? Whatever it might be, right? And so that's what we want to do. We want to make sure that our emotional level of investment is more or less equal. Of course, it's okay for it to bob back and forth a little bit, but it should never be like too out of alignment, because that's just going to cause big pullbacks. And so what we want to do is we want to just be like one step at a time. This is kind of how things organically and naturally develop in normal social situations here. When it does come to any sort of resistance towards moving forward, moving that up a little bit, what we want to do is we want to just get curious and ask, right? So many times people will jump to the conclusion that, hey, this isn't going to work out. Hey, this isn't right. Hey, I'm putting myself out there. It's dangerous. Hey, you know, obviously they're trying to tell me to go take a hike or something like that. Don't do that. Just get curious. Hey, seems like you want some space. Is that where you're at? Or maybe something else is going on in your life. If you want some space from me, that's totally fine. Just let me know. Again, this is going to have that spacious vibe to it, that spacious quality to it, that is absolutely a big welcome sign. By the way, if you're liking this video, please hit that thumbs up button. It helps us with YouTube. It helps us with the algorithm, all that stuff. But what we also want to do is we want to be okay with a yes or a no. Again, we've pulled our emotional experience inward, internalized it, rather than making it about, okay, stuff outside is happening, therefore my entire world is like swinging in the balance. But we've pulled it inside to the point where it's like, okay, if you don't want to meet up today, that's all right. Like, I have things to do. I can live my best life. I can do all that. Of course, I'd like to meet up with you, and I might be understandably a little bit let down, but it's not like my day is ruined or anything like that. I can do some cool things today. I'm okay with a yes or a no. If you have that kind of mentality, then that is going to be the most empowering thing you can possibly have. And this, again, is so rare, and it creates so much spaciousness for someone to show up however they want to, that it's going to cause them to actually want to get closer to you and to think about you a lot. So if this is something that you want for yourself, I'd recommend you check out our course called the X Solution Program. You can find that over at modernlove.life/ESP. This is how to develop the emotional connection with your ex that inspires them to want to get back together with you. You can check it out again over at modernlove.life/ESP or in the description box below. If it seems right, feel free to sign up. If not, no worries. It's not going to twist your arm. But yeah, go ahead and check it out. Once again, this is Clay. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button, and I'll talk to you next time. Take care.